Three, two, one. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash. Here is today's comic. Lois Lane, #1. She uncovered the most dangerous secret in the DC universe. Joined today, as always, by the legendary Stan the Man. Stan, what you got there, buddy? Oh, the gummy bear. Good choice. Oh, yeah, you've been discovering Haribo. Haribo makes them good, don't they? I don't know. We're gonna have to try some Black Forest. I think you might like those better, but Haribo's really good. And Forky, look what you got there. You got cherry? You supporting the cherries, buddy? Oh, you just like the cherry gummies. That's it. Gotcha. That's a good choice. Those are pretty tasty. You enjoy. Man, this Star Mix is pretty good. I'm not a big fan of the snakes. I love the colas. Normally you have to get the colas by themselves. Gummy bears and cherries are pretty good. And the rings are just whatever. They're just gummy rings. So I guess they're like the gummy bears. So Starbo, hashtag Candygate. If you're not following Candygate, you need to. We need to convince the world that the lies spread by the Milky Wayers are just that. They're lies, propaganda. The real candy that everyone should be eating is gummy bears. Are the best. But I'll tell you, even the best gummy bears could not make this into a good comic. Holy shitballs. Time for a cola. Whew, this was terrible. Let's get on with this crap. So, it starts off in the Drake Hotel in Chicago. You know, that place that Lois Lane ran away from her husband, Superman, Clark Kent, and had an affair with Lex Luthor. So she's in her hotel room, and she's tick-tack-tack-tack-tack typing away, while the news, apparently she listens to CNN, because it's just allegations published today that the White House flatly denied the accusations of wrongdoing. Combative briefing where spokesperson Leanne McCarthy refused to take any questions from the press. Devastating flash floods crediting Superman with saving lives of thousands. Of course, Superman's perfect. Speculation about a shakeup in the Justice League reached for comment. The Flash dismissed concerns. Tack. Detained at camps around the country. A decision on the ACLU filing is expected by the end of the week. I replaced the towels. Did you want the minibar restocked? Tack. Justice Department would announce the appeal of the ruling of the Metropolis Federal Court today. The minibar. Do you want the minibar restocked? Miss Lane. Lois. This machine kills fascists. So stupid. Apparently, it doesn't answer the help either. Which found that the president's statements on social media, who does that sound like, were admissible on the basis that the individuals holding public office are accountable to their constituents. Wait for it. The Justice Department expected to appeal the ruling. Stay tuned for the hotspot coming up next with Jeremy Costello, with an in-depth analysis to today's news. Boom. Take that, you self-righteous, arrogant, bleep, 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 bleep. Does that sound like Lois Lane? Lois Lane, SJW. We just got to witness 2 pages of comic book of keyboard warrior SJW Lois Lane. Great. Jeremy will be focusing tonight on the latest allegations published today. Always and forever. I'm sorry? The minibar restocked. Always and forever. You've been servicing this room for months, Alejandra. We've got a thing going. Just make the bed, change the towels, restock the minibar. And don't worry about the mess. But it's my job, Lois, so I ask anyway. Especially if perhaps you're having company later. I'm happily married. Of course. After all, what is one kiss? Exactly. With Superman. More than one, kiddo. What the fuck? Deedle deet? What the fuck is that? So, finally, Bendis and friends are getting around to addressing the major faux pas that happened back in Action Comics. I think it was 1004, 1005, where Superman and Lois kiss in public with everyone taking pictures. And then no one addressed it, like the fact that she's... And then finally, I think fans yammered enough about like how stupid that was, that this would happen and no one would even pay attention, that now that they're like overkilling it. The latest Action Comics had it. This book has it. Now it's like everyone's talking about it all of a sudden. So stupid. So next we get a 2-page just collage of flat shots of Lois talking to Perry White. This is how Bendis comics are. Yes, I know it's not written by Bendis, but it's Bendis boy Rucka. This is how it's just talking heads. They write like it's for TV. So Lois is talking to Perry, and she's upset that Perry White's disabled her publish button. So, like, she's upset that she literally can't just write a story and just publish it. That it has to go through editors. Does this sound like... This sounds like these writers are writing themselves into the comics. Lois Lane is Greg Rucka. He's just writing himself. And here is a real editor at DC Comics. Just like, you can't just publish whatever you want. It has to be checked. And apparently Lois can't fucking spell words. Like, she put 2 U's in collusion. Like, she just makes her out to be an idiot. I don't think Greg Rucka and Bendis don't understand this character at all. So we get this fantastic page of Lois staring at her coffee cup, and because someone she knows just died. She's, how did it happen? The official story is she threw herself out of the bedroom window of her apartment this morning. The official story is she'd been suffering from depression. I'm fucking just suffering from depression reading this book. The official story makes no mention of the fact that she was in the habit of criticizing the Kremlin. Them Russians, am I right? I know you two didn't get it on, but I figured you'd want to. Yeah, I appreciate it, Chief. Look, I got a thing, I'm gonna go. Talk later. I'm here if you... Click. Just hangs up on the fucking editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet. And then there's Lois just sitting back. Oh, more sitting. Typing. Need to meet. Full Woodward. More coffee cup. Thumb up. A whole page. A whole fucking page devoted to need to meet. Thumb up. That could have been one panel. God, modern writers suck balls. You know why Bob Woodward met Mark Felt in a parking garage at 2 a.m? Pure tradecraft. The place has all but empty. Good sight lines. But even if you can't see someone coming, you can sure as hell hear them. Espionage and investigative journalism have a lot more in common. More than just the hours. They both rely on the acquisition of facts. They have both been hidden. They both rely on analysis of those facts. The difference is that one, arguably, is concerned with the truth, where the other isn't. In the end, though, both are in pursuit of answers. Who the fuck are you talking to, Lois? You're just walking around in an empty parking lot talking to yourself. In old school comics, this would have worked as thought bubbles for Lois, like thinking to herself, so you could get in the mindset of like, oh, this is why. But she's like just like speaking to the camera, I guess. Like, she obviously this is like Greg Rucka went on YouTube and researched, Bob Woodward or something, got this little factoid and decided he's going to write this will cover a whole page. I'll explain why these espionage agents, like, oh, Jesus. Though what's done with those answers is another matter entirely. I don't have things to do. Wait, I don't like having to do things this way. I don't mind lying, but I hate being dishonest, if you understand the distinction. No, there's no distinction. So we get the question here. I don't know what this panel is, just sitting here. I need you to stop working on the other thing. I need you to go to Moscow. Is the question just in Lois Lane's back pocket? What, did she like just privately work for Lois? I need you to stop doing the thing. Questions like, oh, okay, Miss Lane, what should I do next? Reporter named Mariska Verona was found dead today. They said it was suicide. It wasn't. She saw it coming. She kept her backups of her notes hidden in case something like this happened. She told me where to find them. Now I'm telling you. Bring them to me. Okay, Miss Lane, the question serves you. So she goes back into her posh. Look at this posh hotel she stayed. Look at this. This is the mind of ultra liberals. They live this posh, wealthy lifestyle where they have Hispanic servants, of course. Of course, this is so funny that this book is so SJW. Like, they have this person like serving them. This basically a slave. This is like they're so self-unaware that like they don't even see it. If this was written by, say, someone, Ethan Van Sciver, who's like one of the few comic creators like who's outwardly like hardcore conservative, if he had written this, they'd be up in arms like, oh, of course, white supremacist Ethan Van Sciver writes Mexican servants in the hotel room. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when they do it, it's the white privilege is just oozing out of it's projection. This is why we get the virtue signaling from them. They understand this, that they believe the way they are. They understand that they live privileged lives. So they think anyone else like them, so the same skin color, also lives privileged, and they project on them to cover up their own shame. Lois Lane is Lois Lane depicted in the Bendis era of Lois Lane is the most shitty, like, arrogant, SJW. I hate her. Oh, bow chicka wow wow. Now we get Lois Lane stripping. Oh, step in the shower with her man who just happens to just beat. I mean, that's what Superman does, just sit in the shower all day. He's just, oh, look. It's like, what the fuck is this? This is, okay, it's not a Superman comic, so I could at least be, okay. I guess it's a Lois Lane book. I should treat him differently, but this is not what I want to. Oh, now they're in bed together, and we got to see half naked. Oh, you're watching me sleep? Oh, it's like. And then she kisses him on the chin like a good little cuck. Yeah. Get your little chin peck there. And then they're walking down the street. Oh, this is fantastic. Walking down the street, and they're talking about breakfast. And he's like, eggs, bacon, flapjacks, toast, orange juice. This is breakfast. Coffee is not, in and of itself, breakfast. You've been a journalist for how long, and you dare speak like that? Such a farm boy. Breakfast is the most important meal of the... And then, slut. And then, someone called my woman a slut. I'm going to give him the angry face. And then Lois is like, whatever. He's walking away. Clark, is it because of that picture of you kissing Superman? I seem to recall it was Superman kissing me, but it's hard to tell from the photo. It's my fault. It's not a question of blame, babe. We made a choice on how we wanted to live our lives. I'm a minor celebrity. Shut the fuck up. You're a reporter for a newspaper, and people don't even buy newspapers anymore. Not minor. Nope, not in the DC world. Lois Lane's bigger than Superman. Remember in the Action Comics when the guy didn't even balk at the fact that she knew Superman? But when he found out she was Lois Lane, it's like, oh, Lois Lane, oh my God. She's bigger than Superman. And we live in an age of cameras everywhere. It was going to happen sooner or later. I don't like it at all. I don't like what people say about you, and I don't like that nobody seems to say it about him. Oh, hon, of course they don't say it about him. Now, my first thinking is like, yeah, because he's Superman, and he fucking saves the world like every fucking day. Most people would be like, he kissed a woman? Yeah, if that's like his biggest crime, have at it. You've earned a little bit of but nope, that's not the reason why. Him is a he. Dun, dun, dun. Yep, it's because Superman's a man, and it's because women are inferior, or at least like they're treated inferior all by everyone in society. Superman gets away with it because he's a man. Like I said, comes to the territory. Pretending we're a normal couple was just disingenuous. We're just not. When are you going to tell me about it? Look at this fucking beta male. About what? About the thing you're not telling me? About something that happened when you were in space with my father and our son? Not yet. When I'm ready. All right. Well, what? This is where you get the backhand to the face and be like, yo, bitch, this is my son and you fucking married me. We're together. You don't just get to say when you're ready. You took my son off into space and then you came home without him and then you snuck around behind my back. All right. Hey. We each need to be able to keep secrets from one another. We each have to respect that. We've got a good thing, Clark, and it's not because we're relentlessly honest with each other. Nope. In SJW world, that virtue is a bad thing. You virtue signal because you don't actually have virtue. Displaying virtue would be bad. Being honest is a virtue. We're not... Wow. I can't believe it fucking came out of Lois Lane's mouth that being honest would be a bad thing. It's because we trust each other absolutely, entirely, and without hesitation. You know if I'm keeping something from you, I've got a reason. No. If you're keeping something from him, it's because you're dishonest. And this is your life partner. You're married. You have a closer bond between this guy than anyone in the world. If you can't be honest with him, then you can't be honest with anyone, and you're not worth a shit. And also, you have a son, and his responsibility to his son is paramount, and you should not be able to lie about him, much less leave him in space alone with a crazy fucking kook villain guy, and then not answer for it. His response, beta male Clark, I love you, Lois Lane. I love you, Clark Kent. And I want to go watch me have sex with another man. Oh, she doesn't actually say that, but... walking with hands. God, he's so fucking... Meanwhile, in Moscow. Now, this is how you know art is really bad. So you got these guys who are looking for something, presumably the hidden files. When you go down these panels, and they have to highlight with a little mini panel square that something is happening, but even then you can't tell what is happening. You're like, what? I don't understand. And then the character's like, who's there? And then mysteriously, one by one, they're vanishing until they see a body and like, oh, Mickey? Mickey, don't fuck around. Oh, shit. Oh, what the hell happened? Wrong question. My Russian's not great. Kicked it. But I can still tell you're a pack of bleep. Bring it. Bleep, bleep, bleep. And then look at these shitty fucking... Look at this. Flat. Boring. There's some action. People are getting punched. I don't even know what's happening right here. I think someone just got slapped. I can't... Why is the action in the comic the smallest panels? The big panel's devoted to a guy to saying something, my Russian's not great. And then little panel, just all the action. And I can't see what's going on. And then afterwards he finds the little flash drive. Oh, yay. And now we've got a complete rip-off analogy of what leftists view the White House. And it's they've done everything but actually put the real woman here. What's her name? Huckabee or whatever, or the White House press secretary. Like, they've done everything except actually to use her image and her name. Well, not exactly. They also don't actually copy how she handles herself. They make her into this total obvious villain character that in the comic you can't argue with. She looks totally criminal. But the real White House, Sanders Huckabee, I don't know. She doesn't handle herself that way. She's actually usually owns the press guys that are trying to like catch lies and different things, and she's very smart, and she puts down all their bullshit, their fake news essentially. But they don't like that, so they make this woman, It's like Lois Lane gets the gotcha. Does anyone have a question about the numbers? And Lois Lane, I do. I've got questions about the numbers, Lois, specifically about the ones you reported this morning. All right. Now, I want you to notice this whole page. Really, the only thing that matters is that Lois Lane is going to ask these questions about these numbers, which could all be handled in this panel. All of this is nonsense. It's just like, that's not a good question. You're in da-da-da, blah, 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 nonsense. Until finally you have some kind of question about the numbers. Okay. So one panel finally makes sense. $9.4 million from Merrick Monroe, $10.4 from LexCorp, another $8.5 from Agner Shaw. Wait, all paid to individual numbers or members of the administration in exchange for, that's enough. That's not the granting of specific contracts, including the additional $22 million earmarked for quote unquote tender care camps. Where are you getting this? Where are you getting these figures? I'm not at liberty to divulge my sources. You're making this all up. That's all this is. Do you deny the administration is monetizing the separation of children from their families? That's what this is. This is now where the comics are preaching about the border separation of children from their families. Mind you, if we're going to be political, a thing that was instituted by the Clinton administration and pushed forward further by the Obama administration and pulled back by the current Trump administration, but because of their agenda, they try to spin this as if this was all just a big evil Trump, am I right? Orange man bad. Look, they even make her blue in the face. Look at this. It is so, and look at this self-righteous smugness of Lois Lane, who, by the way, is not part of the White House press corps. Okay. I think you need to answer the question. Answer the question, Leanne. Answer the question. A remarkable exchange today between Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Lois Lane and White House spokesperson Leanne McCarthy. And look at how they just draw her like a fucking, like the Hunchback of Notre. Look at this face. It's just so on the nose. God. When the press secretary refused to answer allegations published in the Daily Planet this morning, despite repeated questions to do so, culmination in Lane's ejection from the briefing and revoked credentials. Upon resumption of the briefing, McCarthy again faced questioning, this time by another member of the press corps who continued Lane's line of inquiry, resulting in McCarthy calling a premature end to the briefing. At this time, the administration has offered no further comment on the exchange. More on the story as it develops. DC Comics presents Lois Lane in Enemy of the People. That's the end of this book. So, what is the most dangerous secret that we are promised that Lois finds out? First of all, this book is just, nothing happens in this book. It's just a fucking bunch of nonsense, and it's a total political propaganda piece, and the continuing of emasculation of Clark Kent and Superman. But could it be that the greatest secret is that Orange Man is bad? Uh-oh. I don't know. But that's what this book seems to be. It's pure leftist rhetoric. This is not a comic book at all. It is by writers who do not understand the characters. They write nonsense scenes, have Superman show up. He's not even Superman, he's just Clark Kent walking around. Gets all fired up because someone thinks his wife's a slut for sleeping around on him, which she does. I mean, yes, Superman is Clark Kent, but the world doesn't know that. And instead of writing it like a real writer would kind of understand, like the characters would just be like, they would almost like giggle to themselves and they'd be like, tee hee hee, oh, we gotta, at least they don't know that you're Superman. Like they just think that I'm like, it would just be like, they would understand, not take it all offensive. But that's what this is. This book is pure social justice outrage, starting from the very beginning where Lois for 2 pages is typing a hit piece and fighting fascists online. It could not be more on the nose. This book is fucking terrible. The art is horrendous. There is nothing of value in this book. I've heard people say Greg Rucka is like, oh, Greg Rucka's good. Bullshit. No way. There's a reason why his Wonder Woman failed, I believe. Even his Wonder Woman's good. Okay, I'm not calling anyone a liar, but I think maybe someone who writes this terribly, I can't imagine ever writing well. This book, even the stuff that I didn't read and cover, it's because it's just boring and it's nonsensical and I seem to have this knack of my battery dying. Well, it doesn't actually die. What happens is it gets within a certain percentage, like 15% left or whatever, and then the camera won't work to save batteries. Like, oh. So it always happens like right in the last minute or two of my video. I was like, what? It's annoying. Anyways, I'm done with this video, and this is what annoys me. I have to record like a minute of video. Don't buy this book. This book is atrocious. There's nothing of value in it. It's just pure political propaganda. If you are this type of person, if you are, a big, Orange Man bad, then maybe it'll make you feel good, I guess. Like, this book told them. I don't know, it's not telling anyone anything. It's just Lois Lane's a bitch, and the best person in the world, Superman, looks like a fucking soy boy, pathetic, beta male. I know some people are probably watching this video and they're just like, oh God, Ash is if you don't like me talking like this, I'm sorry. Like, I feel bad for people that think masculinity is a bad thing. And the defense of masculinity makes you a bad person. I feel bad about that. It's not. And this constant social agenda of feminists to make men feel bad for being men is awful. It's just as awful as misogyny is, right? There's no defense for that. There's no defense for treating women bad because they're women. The same is true to men. Men should not feel bad for being men. They should be proud to be a man. And a man's man should be something we value. And a feminine woman should be something we all value. So this idea that the world is it's a woman's world and we need to praise women, yeah, that's all great. But if you have to do so at the devaluation, at the tearing down of men, then that's the wrong way to go about it. So that's all I have to say about this piece of shit. This book is a 1-star. Obviously, it doesn't get any worse. I can't rip it up. But I don't rip up comics anyway. That's other people's shtick. Here's what the picture looks like. I wish I could burn it like that. That'd be awesome. Terrible, terrible book. Let this burn into your memory. Stan, enjoy that gummy bear. At least you got something good out of it. And you too with the cherry there, buddy. Are you a cherry supporter there? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. You will get flamed on Twitter, Forky. Don't answer it.